Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is The Punisher Season 1. The Punisher was introduced in Daredevil Season 2. Go watch that recap if you haven't seen it. Basically, Frank Castle was a war hero whose family was tragically killed in a drug deal gone bad. He spent the season hunting down all the gang members involved and bringing them to justice, and by justice, he means death, because unlike Daredevil, he has no problems killing bad guys. Turns out his old army commander was the main drug dealer, the blacksmith, so he kills him too, and then in a big explosion, everyone thinks the Punisher is dead. But Frank's still out there hunting down the last few stragglers. Eventually he gets them, and his quest for vengeance is complete. What's he gonna do now? Well, he grows a sweet hipster beard and gets a job at a construction site. Some of the bad influence construction workers convince this nice kid to join them in robbing a mob-run poker game, but nice kid drops his wallet with his ID, and it's like, wow, you're the worst thief ever. So the mean guy's gonna kill the nice kid to protect themselves, throw him in the cement mixer, but Frank was there to see it because he's working late. He doesn't have many hobbies. So Frank beats up the mean guy, saves the nice kid, then goes down to the poker game and shoots up all the mob guys. Yeah, Punisher back on the streets, but wait, who's this watching him with gait recognition technology? Is that a real thing? It's nerdy computer guy Micro. So Micro calls Frank, hey man, we should be friends, but Frank's first instinct is to kill him. Luckily Micro was over on the other roof and he left the phone for him, hey, call me maybe. At the end of Daredevil Season 2, Frank found a CD that Micro left for him. What's on that? Well, it's a video of Frank interrogating terrorists back in Afghanistan, but Homeland Security agent Madani would love to get that video. See, that wasn't a terrorist, it was her Afghani partner when she was working over there. She's got a new goofy partner now and a dick boss who's like, drop it, Madani. So Frank dresses up as a homeless guy to see his friend reporter Karen Page. Are these two having a romance arc? No, they're just friends, for now. She talks to her boss who knows Micro was an NSA agent gone bad, selling secrets to the enemy, and he was shot about a year ago. But the story was shut down by Madani's dick boss, so Frank goes to pay him a visit. They have a little kitchen fight, and eventually Frank gets him, starts interrogating him, but he breaks free and grabs the gun. Now that he's got all the power, he feels like talking. See, Micro didn't go bad. Someone sent him that video and he tried to blow the whistle, so they killed him to cover it up. And they thought Frank was the one who sent him the video, so that's why they tried to kill him in the big shooting where his family died. So he goes to kill Frank, but oh, the gun's not loaded. Yeah, it was a trick to make him talk, and Frank takes him out. Karen also tells Frank that Micro has a family, so Frank goes and gets hit by his wife's car, assuming that he's watching them and he'll come out of hiding, and Frank follows him back to his secret hideout and ties him naked to a chair. So how did Micro survive getting shot? Well, he keeps his phone in his front shirt pocket like an absolute lunatic. Anyway, the place is set to explode if he doesn't type in a code every few minutes, so Frank lets him do that, but he grabs his poison pencil, stabs Frank, and manages to escape. He's like, hey man, I'm seriously not your enemy. The same people want us dead. We need to work together to clear our names. Frank's like, alright, time for some more backstory. See, I was part of an off-the-books Black Ops mission called Project Cerberus. It was run by his old commander, the blacksmith that was smuggling heroin, and also the CIA guy, Agent Orange. They had a good year running around Afghanistan killing terrorists, until one day their new mission was obviously a trap. And Agent Orange is like, yo man, it's not a trap, but it was a trap. So Frank had to go into beast mode and single-handedly save the entire squad, and when he gets back, he punches Agent Orange's eye out. Ouch. Micro's like, this Agent Orange guy sounds like he's the top of the whole conspiracy. He's the one we need to find and bring to justice. Frank's like, hey, I don't bring people to justice, I bring them to death. And Micro's like, I'm okay with that. The Punisher needs some guns, so he visits our favorite New York lowlife, Turk, but all he's got right now is this pink one. Punisher don't work in pink. Luckily, Micro hacks Homeland and finds out they're about to seize a bunch of guns right now. So Frank busts in there to seize them first, but Madani's not gonna let that happen. She's got her cool car and they have a fast and furious game of chicken, but oh, she gets hit by Micro coming in. Frank doesn't kill good guys, so he saves her from the car. She's like, whoa, Punisher, you're alive? He's like, yeah, don't tell anyone. So now she's investigating the Punisher and goes to see Billy Russo, who was Frank's best friend back in the army. Now he runs Anvil, a private military contractor. These two have a beer, then have a sex, but he doesn't know anything. He thinks Frank's dead. So what about the other guys in Cerberus who actually made the video? Well, it was probably their friend Gunner. Frank goes to pay him a visit at his cabin, but gets shot by a bow and arrow, cause that's Gunner's style. But eventually they get to talking, and he explains that he found out their bosses were smuggling heroin and using Cerberus to kill anyone they needed to cover it up. He gives them the name of another colonel that was in on it. But Madani was also looking into Gunner, and Agent Orange has her office bugged, so he sends in a hit squad to play a real-life game of Call of Duty. But Gunner is a master of Rambo traps, so he and Frank easily take these guys out. They do both get shot though. Gunner bleeds out, and Frank's going to too. But Micro grabs him and goes to see Frank's old buddy, Curtis. Curtis is running a support group for vets, and he's enough of a medic to staple Frank back together. Then Billy Russo finds out Frank's still alive. He tracks him down, bros reunited. He's like, hey man, I got Anvil. I can get you a job, get you overseas, start a new life. But Frank's like, hey, I still got unfinished business punishing. And it's a good thing Frank turned him down, because he's working with Agent Orange. Oh, betrayal! So now Frank and Micro going after the Colonel Gunner told him about. He's having a nice Saturday night when Frank busts in to ruin it, but the bad guys were waiting for him, so Frank's gotta smoke up the room and buy some time while Micro clones the guy's phone. Frank escapes and they track the guy's location to Agent Orange's safe house. The bad guys kill him because he's a liability now, and Frank's gonna snipe Agent Orange, but oh, bulletproof glass, not gonna be that easy. Back at home, Micro lost the video feed of his family, so Frank goes to check it out. It was just the Wi-Fi down. But Frank and Micro's wife kind of became friends, and they're drinking rosé, and oh, she kisses him. Awkward. Micro takes it pretty hard at first, but then he's like, yeah, I guess it's fair, I am technically dead. So he and Frank get drunk and become best bros for life. Now Madani thinks it's a weird coincidence. The day after she mentions Gunner, he ends up dead, and sure enough, she finds the bug. So she talks very loudly about an operation to capture the Punisher, hoping to draw out whoever's after him, and it works. These guys take the bait, but they're ambushed by Homeland agents, and oh, it turns into a big shootout. Billy Russo almost escapes, but goofy partner catches him. Let's see who's under the mask, Scooby-Doo. Oh, what? It's my boss's boyfriend. Oh, I'm stabbed to death. Oh. So Madani's super sad to lose another partner, and she gets a sponge bath from her boyfriend, who is her partner's killer. Betrayal. Then it's an unrelated side adventure. Boom! Terrorist attack on some government office. In Curtis's support group, there was this young vet who's having a real tough time living in a foxhole in his backyard. Long story short, he decides he needs to fight against the government that abandoned him, and that's why he blows up this office. Frank's like, yo, I hate terrorists. It's time for this kid to get punished. Curtis finds him first, and they have a fight, but Curtis lost his leg in the war, and this kid beats him with it. Uncool. Frank gets there in time to save him, but then the cops show up, and Frank has to escape. Unfortunately, he's caught on camera, and now the world knows he's alive and thinks he's a terrorist. The kid also threatened this senator, so he hires Anvil to protect him. He's doing an interview with Karen Page about it, but boom, he hits the room. He's gonna shoot him, but Frank gets there just in time. He takes Karen hostage, and Frank's chasing him down to the basement, but Madani shows up first. Frank's like, yo, you can shoot me or you can let me go stop this terrorist. She lets him go, but oh, Frank's shot by Billy Russo. Frank and Madani both realize he's a bad guy. Betrayal! But the cops show up before they could shoot each other. Frank's not one to be arrested though, so he makes it down to the kitchens where the guys got Karen. They manage to get him in the freezer, and the kid's like, man, maybe I'll just blow myself up. Frank's like, yeah, I think you should. So boom, big tragedy, really. Anyway, there's a bunch of cops outside, so Frank has to pretend to take Karen hostage to escape. Are these two gonna make out? No, not yet. And Frank escapes on a zipline. So Frank Castle's a wanted man. Micro's wife is like, I can't believe I made out with the Punisher. Just then some bad guys show up to kidnap him, and Micro knows they're coming here next, so Punisher suits up, and when the bad guys get there, he takes them all out with a variety of real big guns. They go to see Madani, and Frank agrees to go on the record about everything. Then they're gonna trade themselves for Micro's family. It's like, what, husband, you're alive? Yeah, don't worry about it, baby, it's cool. But then Homeland shows up, the bad guys grab Frank, but Micro gets shot on the way out. No! The bad guys get away and bring Frank back to his hideout. He's like, Billy, you my best friend, you kill my family? And he's like, sorry bro, I did. Now Micro had it rigged to leak all the information in case he dies, so Agent Orange comes in person to do some light torture on Frank. Frank agrees to shut it down, but he really turns on all the cameras, and Micro is alive. Yeah, it was a fake out. They wanted to lure Agent Orange out to collect some hard evidence, but Frank had a knife under the chair. Oh, stabs the guy. So now he wants to do some serious torture on Frank. Billy Russo pulls him off. He's like, hey, this was my best bro. I'm gonna give him a quick death. But Agent Orange is like, don't you dare, I want to torture him. So Billy cuts Frank's zip tie and is like, fine, come get him. So boom, Frank busts free. Agent Orange in for a world of pain. Oh, he kills him with his bare hands, and it's finally over. Except for Billy, of course, who's like, I'm just gonna back on out of here. But it's too late. Homeland shows up. Billy packs his go bag and is ready to erase his identity, start a new life, but he knows Frank will never stop hunting him. So they meet at the old carousel where Frank's family got shot for a final showdown. These two shoot at each other a bunch, eventually both get hit, and then it all comes down to a knife fight, which, oh, Frank wins. Frank smashes his pretty face all over a mirror and decides to let him live to be ugly for the rest of his life. So the day is saved. Micro's name is cleared. He's reunited with his family. Madani came to the merry-go-round and immediately got shot, but she's fine too. The CIA's like, hey Frank, sorry one of our rogue agents used you and killed your family. We've told the world Frank Castle's dead, so you can go out and start a new life. So he goes to see his friend Curtis, and he's like, man, I've been living for vengeance for so long, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. And that's how Punisher Season 1 comes to an end.